Love, Return in Rain, Chapter 2. The walls of the modest home were thick with silence, a heavy, suffocating silence that seemed to swallow everything whole. The soft ticking of the clock was the only sound filling the room, a cruel reminder of time slipping away. Dr. Daniel adjusted his glass as he studied the boy lying motionless on the bed. Sachu, 17 years old, a boy who should have been laughing with friends, making memories, falling in love. Instead, he lay there, his eyes open but seeing nothing. His mother sat beside me, her fingers gripping the edge of her sari, as if holding on to it could keep her from falling apart. His father stood by the window, shoulders hunched, staring outside but not really looking. How long has he been like this? Dr. Daniel asked, his voice gentle yet firm. 2 months, his mother whispered, her voice raw with exhaustion. Ever since the accident, he's been different. He barely eats, barely speaks, he just stares ahead, lost in some world we can't reach. The doctor, he had seen cases like this before. It, it never got easier. A mind trapped in an illusion, clinging into something that no longer existed. Sachu, Dr. Daniel called softly. The boy didn't react. His gaze remained fixed on the ceiling, unblinking. The doctor leaned closer. Sachu, can you hear me? A flicker, barely noticeable, but it was there. Dr. Daniel turned to the parents. He's not completely gone. He's living in a world of his own making. If we don't intervene soon, he may never return to reality. His mother covered her mouth, suppressing a sob. His father exhaled heavily, rubbing a tired hand over his face. The doctor hesitated before asking the next question. What exactly happened that night? A pause, a long, aching pause, and then slowly the father began to speak. It had been a beautiful evening, the kind that made you want to breathe a little deeper, walk a little slower. The sea breeze was cool, carrying the scent of salt and rain. Sachu had been at the beach with Flippo, his beloved Labrador. The dog had been restless, yanking at the leash, eager to chase the scent of something unseen. And then it happened. A sudden burst of wind, a distracted moment, the leash slipping from his grasp. Flippo had bolted. Sachu had called her name, his voice mixing with the sound of crashing waves. He had run, his feet pounding against the wet sand. And then a loud screech, the sharp impact of metal against flesh. A motorcycle moving too fast, a flash of pain, darkness swallowing everything. Dr. Daniel exhaled, nodding slowly. And the girl? The parents exchanged a glance. Sindhu? His mother finally said she was there when it happened. She brought him to the hospital. The name stirred against something in Sachu. His lips parted, barely a whisper escaping. Sindhu? The doctor caught it. A name, a thread connecting him to the world he had lost. Tell me more about her, Dr. Daniel urged. His mother shook her head. We don't know much. She left before he woke up. The doctor looked back at Sachu. His body was here, but his mind was still chasing her. As Sachu's mind lingered on Sindhu, he was about to wake up to a reality far more heartbreaking than his dreams. Let's wait for chapter 3 to know what happened to Sindhu and what happened to Sachu. Stay tuned on Things and Thoughts, a story by Sri.